Did that work?
We're live.
Wow. Did my 30-second countdown work?
Yeah.
Sweet. I don't think Chris is in here yet. So when he chimes in, if you see him and I miss him, oh, there he is. There he is, Big Daddy.
Turbo.
Is that Big Twin Turbo?
Yeah, me.
Oh, shit. Looking good. Looking good. So what's up, man? What's going on? We don't really have I guess everybody had, we went through Thanksgiving since last week. So we did a little out of the town to Mississippi visit. My one and only time I go hunting. So that's my thing when I go down there. So I was able to get a couple deer. So
yeah. A couple?
Well, yeah, a couple. They call me the Buckmaster.
The Buckmaster.
But they weren't
You
bucks.
Yeah.
But they were does.
Oh, boy.
If I understood them right, it's not rut time right now.
Down there?
Right. That's more January. So I did get a very large doe and what I like to call a morphidited button buck / unicorn. Yeah. Well, I had like a little button and then a little nibble of something, and then on the other side it had a longer little something, and then another short something. So we call it a unicorn.
Unicorn.
Yeah.
Chris, you ever killed a unicorn?
Nope. He's went like. He's got a couple unicorns hanging on the ceiling there, it looks like.
That's a big unicorn.
That's right. So anyway, we had a good time. We come back yesterday. Other than that, it was just kind of road trip, doing the family thing. How about you all?
We went and I'm gonna have to turn my. Y'all keep talking.
Okay. Keep talking, Chris.
We went to a bracket race. We went to Skelton's Saturday.
What about Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving, we ate turkey and ham.
I love it when you eat turkey and ham.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Nothing special. Same old thing.
What happened to Mike?
I'm not sure.
Wait a minute.
Oh, God. There's no telling.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. All I see is that. I don't know if you got that picture off of like a Facebook image. What is that, a car?
Trying something. Hang on.
Okay. There's old TJ Hawkins. What's up, buddy?
Is that a bracket car? Mike's picture.
What was that behind you? Looks like a unicorn.
Yeah. Cindy walking around cleaning house.
Girl. Mike, do you want to explain what you're doing or just let it bump?
I
can't even change my background, so look at me.
I'm just trying to figure a few things out on my end is all I'm trying to do.
Oh, well, you definitely so I'm hosting this tonight, something a little different we're trying. Mike uses a MacBook. All I have is a couple laptops that are several years old, and where I'm at, the Wi-Fi isn't the best, but I'm able to do okay on my phone, picture-wise and speed-wise. So Mike's got all them fancy computers, and he pays for all that super high-tech, what is that, Starlink internet and all that. So we just got Starlink, the Starlink. So
Thursday, let me tell you about my Thursday, my Thanksgiving before I forget.
Yeah, go ahead.
I ate turkey.
Oh.
I worked on the car. That's all I did. I didn't hunt.
No, Chris keeps talking about bracket car.
Yeah, we went out to Possums, the Skelton Raceway deal for it was the first annual Ashton Skelton Thanksgiving race.
I got you. Yeah, we would have liked to been there and wasn't able to make it. So condolences on that whole deal for sure.
That was the most cars I've seen at Sykeston in years.
Yeah.
Like a long time. I don't know if I mean
Most
they might have.
I've seen on the spectator side, I've seen
Oh,
it in years probably.
yeah. It was unbelievable to say the least. The amount of support that they get that they got
Yeah.
from that. You know, I hate that it was. It takes a tragedy to get something like that together, but you know when something like that does happen, you can tell there's a lot of people that. I mean, they support one another as much as they can. So.
Well, that family's been around racing a long time, been down there forever, and everybody knows them. So, hopefully, continued support, not just from that, but going forward with their new venture in getting that drag strip and bringing it back to life after so long. So, hopefully, looking forward to that as well, and going back down there somewhere nice and local that we can race at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a good time. I've seen a bunch of people that I hadn't seen in several years. I mean, I used to bracket race a long time ago, and hadn't seen a bunch of people, or I haven't seen some of those people since I quit bracket racing. Had a good time. Good time.
Awesome.
Good turnout. Yep. Chris really seemed to be in his realm there.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
I've been around bracket racing. Well, where I started.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe a lot of people started bracket racing. That's where they're, they can say street racing and this and that, but bracket racing's where a lot of people have started, in a sense.
I think you can actually learn heads up by bracket racing, because I think Lester Miller was there.
Yeah.
He's a killer on the tree, and I think he gets a lot of that from bracket racing. I mean, he learns to keep his eye on his light. I mean, he's good, and I think ain't nothing wrong with bracket racing.
No.
I like to aggravate a lot of times, but it wouldn't bother me to bracket race.
No, and we can call it whatever we want, but I believe next season that's, it's a heads up index type deal. But I guess other than being a heads up pro tree, you can't break out. But you are racing another guy that is intending on going the identical speed as you. So it really keeps the heads up part, the pro tree, part of the what we like to do racing wise. So, but something we're going to do. It's been a while. No prep, and just been doing that for 3 or 4, 5 years now, 4 years, and just moving on to something else. And we may come back. We may hit a couple. We'll see. So, Mike, you did some work on your car, I believe, after the holidays.
Yep, 4 days worth of it, and I'm already sick and tired of it.
Oh boy.
Well, it was stock. Everything was stock on the car, and it would go to the right, and it did have some adjustable arms, some single adjustable lowers, and it had some kind of an aftermarket relocate kit. I think it's a UPR, but they were solid arms, and just so we decided to.
You're not live anymore.
It says live.
I'm on Van's hosting.
Oh.
So Van got us a baseline suspension, upper and lower kit, a track bar, and then Van actually gave us some strange shocks that unfortunately ended up one of them being blowed. So Dylan Cato had a set of them. So we put all that on the car to find out that we were going to go to the drag strip on Saturday, and we were going to just basically donate our money for the cause, get in a class, and race just as long as we could, buy back, do whatever we had to do. And then when we went out, we went out. But we would have got some testing. Friday night, Chris come over, and we were setting the front end, setting the toe, which I knew didn't look right from the get-go, but I thought, I will adjust the toe. I'll get Chris over here and we'll get it set. Well, it was 2 1/8 inches out, toe out. And the car didn't have a bump steer kit, and I wasn't confident in splitting the difference and all that. So I didn't get that part of it done, but yeah, we got all the parts on it. It's ready to go. I should have a bump steer kit and some new caster camber plates here Monday. I was going to next day air them, but it was too late, so I had to get them. They'll be here Monday, and then I guess we'll get it up to Van, and we'll get it on the alignment machine and get it all dialed in, I guess.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll be pretty straightforward. You got nothing too crazy up there.
Yeah.
But I believe we figured out how many, what is it? Was it not quite an inch out or a little under, wasn't it, left to right?
It was 5/8 of an inch, like crooked. The rear end was 5/8 of an inch to the right. So
right. And then also we noticed it didn't matter what settings we put on these rear double adjustables. It was as if
it didn't have shocks.
There was no movement. Everything was bound up. Just old stuff. Lack of who knows, just
it was just
maintenance.
Old.
Yeah. So now we got some movement in the car, I believe.
I could have probably put Heims in the parts that were there, just new Heims and things like that, and probably would have been okay. But if I'm going to have it out, I'm going to put new stuff in it. Better stuff. I shouldn't say better, but better technology. Yeah.
That's right.
I do have that stuff for sale on Facebook. It's not, like I said, I've got it listed cheap enough that you could buy some Heim joints and bolts and put in it and still be well under what they want for that stuff new. So.
Absolutely. What else, Chris?
Yeah.
Any progress on your stuff? I know I did get that front cover swapped out. And you get that up to your engine guy?
Not yet. He is going to get it when he needs it.
Okay.
Might be a while.
Well, it's just November now, so hopefully by March we'll be closer. Maybe of 24.
Maybe.
Gotcha.
I'm not sure.
Well, we don't. There was a couple races this weekend. They had where was it? Help me out. US 60 had a Black Friday race. Was it Friday night? And then Decker Boys Raceway had a Saturday race. So we didn't get to make that. We were out of town, obviously, and that's definitely something I'm moving away from. But we do have a good buddy of ours that did make it. Really just got his car going, Josh Sarton, and made a pretty good showing. So we're going to try to get him on here and let him talk about that, kind of what his plans are and kind of how the event. I know there wasn't no live feed, and I think the reception's pretty bad there at the Decker Boys place. So not really many videos on that, if any, that I seen. So let's try to get him in here. Give me just a second. You guys can talk while we wait.
I'm just reading. I'm reading real quick.
No, read.
You want me to read out loud?
Well, you can read if there's any chats or we're missing anything, blah, blah, blah. It depends what you're reading, I guess.
Let's see what y'all bracket racers up to.
Oh,
Eric Kennedy.
that sounds like Eric Kennedy.
That's Eric Kennedy.
He's always got something. But somehow we love him still.
I guess I'm not live on Facebook anymore, is what Tracy was saying a while ago. So I went to look. I guess somehow or another, when we started, it said that I was live. But when you go to my live, it says that the link has been broken for some reason. So I guess it's just live on.
What about your other pages?
Well, it says on YouTube I'm live.
Can you turn your deal on and back off? You know how you can.
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
Is there anything I can do on my end?
Well, no, I don't think there is, because I've hosted the last 2 times and it just worked. So now that I'm not hosting, I don't know if there's something that I'm supposed to do or something that I didn't do to. So you can see on your end. Can you see how many people are watching?
10.
10 total?
Well, don't get excited.
Nobody likes your ass, you can tell. 10 people.
Well, I can't help it. I'm sorry. We'll try to figure out how to get it back in there. Oh shit!
Hey, guys.
That ugly dude.
Ah, he's ugly as hell.
Man,
Damn. So what's going on, man? Mike's telling me how I've messed all this up, so I'm trying to figure out what I've done wrong. We're trying this certain different ways. Pretty new at it, and you know he hosted the last 2, and they worked on my end with my pages, but now we're trying it this way, and it's not on his page. So,
oh man, this is all new to me.
Yeah, well, it's in its final. You know, we're not too fancy yet, but this isn't about us right now. This is about you, Daddy.
Yeah, man, we went traveling all weekend to Kentucky and did pretty good, I thought, for no more data than we had and how long we've had the car out.
How'd you like that track over there?
Oh my goodness, man, that was wild, to say the least. I mean, when we first got there and walked it, I mean, it's like polished concrete. I mean, it's slick. It's crazy. I guess they had acid etched it at one point and it was pretty good, but they said all that was gone and it was slick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Obviously,
Did they start on the asphalt?
No. I mean,
Okay. Rewind. We're talking about 2 different tracks. Why don't you tell us about Friday night at Hardinsburg?
Yeah,
Hardenberg. Yep. So they moved us up to the asphalt.
Okay.
We got there. I mean, it was slick too. We got there. Drew Jeff Long first round. That car usually always works pretty good. We spun the tires. It was awful, but he done worse, and we got to win. We second round come up. We made some changes, took some power out of it, but still didn't do very good. We lost that round, spun the tires, and give it up. But you know, there were some cars there that was, I mean, going down and going good. There were some fast cars there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
That
which they said,
go ahead.
they said that they were going to tear all the surface out, spun the tire, so
Yeah.
and redo it over the winter.
That's what he was telling us at the last race we was at over there for the OSCA race. He said he was every bit of it coming up, and he was actually stretching it like another 1,100 feet on top of what it already is. And
yeah, that's what he said. I think I mean, it's going to be a nice track when they do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
So, but yeah, we sat around there and watched the racing and had a good time. And like I said, we'll definitely go back there.
Yeah. 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 Then you went to Decker Boys on
Yeah,
Saturday.
Decker Boys.
I've not been there when they first opened that. We had a couple of buddies go over there, and they said that, well, they loaded up and left. They were like, no, we're not doing this.
If you want to watch some wrecks, go to Decker Boys.
Yeah.
It's something else. I mean, it's definitely one of a kind track. It did, like, after I think they run 6 pair, and had like 3 wrecks. We took a boat and they did spray from, I think, 200 or 300 foot on out. Which I'm glad they did, because you got out there and it was ice.
Yeah.
But even the shutdown, man, is slick, and you come over a dang hump and you're downhill on the shutdown. I mean, it's something else.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the thing. I mean, that's something a lot of people don't think about, is the shutdown. You know, the front half is slick, and sometimes the shutdown is it's worse than that.
It was actually worse, I think, because you come over, you go through the finish line, then you start down a pretty good little knoll, and next thing you know, it's slick, and they've actually got a crossing like where you leave the track going through the shutdown.
Yeah.
I think it was round 3. I popped over the hill and there was a car coming through there.
Yeah.
It's definitely sketchy.
Mm-mm.
Is that something you're interested in going back to, or are you going to focus on backside or front side, or are you just going to do it all?
Well, honestly, I'm probably going to focus mainly on front side stuff. I ain't going to say I wouldn't go back there. Because we did end up doing pretty good. But it's something to think about. I mean, honestly, I think something probably ought to be done to that track to make it a little bit safer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think originally when it first opened, that was people's concern, and there's videos, and I mean, just complete ice fest when they had the hay bales and some other stuff down there. Nicely facility, but I mean, basically you're running on a garage floor type of surface.
That's what I would compare it to. Like my shop floor is is slick and smooth, and basically that's what you're racing on.
Yeah, that's I guess if that's what you got to do to be called a no prep racer, then I guess that's what you got to do.
Well, honestly, like we had heard from everybody that it was fixed and it was better, or we probably wouldn't have went.
And
then,
I think they did do something to get it better, and I assume the etching that you speak of. But I haven't seen anyone else running there or paid much attention to it and seen much. So
right.
Obviously it's worn off.
Yeah. Apparently it's gone. Yeah, if you go there, I mean, be prepared for what it is, and we probably won't go back unless they do something different, just because, I mean, I don't want to tear my car up. I don't want to wreck, and I hate seeing other people wreck.
Well, and that's it. It may be something not even your fault. That it could be them out of hand, out of shape, and everybody knows how to drive when they're not in the driver's seat. You know what I mean?
Right.
But, they're the first hand to tell you what you should have did and how you should have did it.
Right.
But next thing you know, they're in the car and up against you and got you rolled over, and you know what I mean?
That's always something you got to think about. Like our first round pass, we were second pair first round. We never got the car out of low gear. We left 40 foot out. It spun. I footed it the whole way and never got it out of low gear.
Is that the video? Is that the video you sent me?
Yep.
Gotcha.
So any place like that, it's pretty wild.
But you ended up. How many cars was there?
There was 15 cars originally, and I think 2 bought back. They let them buy back after they sprayed the track. So I think altogether, there was probably 17 cars. So it wasn't a huge turnout. I think the $300 buy-in kind of scared some people away. I mean, that's a big buy-in.
I didn't realize it was that much. I think it was only $300 buy-in to get into Gulfport.
Yeah, it was only 300, and we were going to try to go to Gulfport, but I mean, we're not competitive down there, especially right now. So we kind of picked our race, and went somewhere where we thought maybe we would have a chance.
Oh, absolutely. And that's what you got to do. So, but
So-
you did make it down to the finals. Is that correct?
We did make it to the finals. And honestly, I think we probably had the fastest car on the property after a couple rounds. In the finals, I turned it down, which I mean, it was turned down anyway, but we turned it down, and about 400 foot, we lost a tire. The track had started cooling off a bunch. You know, it was a long time in between rounds, and you know that all-wheel drive GTR, it don't miss. You know, that thing gets it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that definitely would help on a surface like that. I could see we don't see a lot of all-wheel drive stuff, but when it counts, they're usually there and doing something. So,
Well, when you got four slicks on, you know,
that helps.
there you are, and it does help. But I mean, that thing, not taking anything away from it, I mean, it's fast. But you know, I think at the finish line camera, I didn't look at it, but they had to watch it 2 or 3 times. I think he got me by about 3 or 4 foot, you know, on the end. So, you know, it was a good race.
Yep.
So,
Well, good deal. What you got any plans coming up, or are you just gonna chill out until?
well, we'll probably hit a couple more if they're semi-local and the weather's nice. We're trying to get data for this coming season. Just kind of give us a head start on it. And honestly, I mean, this car's been down 2 years, and I'm anxious to make some passes. So I'm ready to hit some no preps, and which, like you guys are talking, that index on like a 530, man, I'm really thinking that we're going to run that this year.
We're hoping that a couple of tracks pick it up. You know, Skelton's. I think Jackson maybe. Hopefully they'll continue with it. Scotty Corbin help him with that program over there, and if we can get him to keep a car more than a week, maybe he'll keep a program over there for that style of racing. So
yeah, I think that would be really cool. You know, I've never done nothing like that, and I would really like to try it. You know, and especially, you know, I think it would be really fun to know that you've got a competitive shot, you know, no matter what.
yeah, they were. You compare that to, you know, I'm going to say 90% of the cars. Then you flip over to Gulfport and you see the kind of times that they're running down there. I mean, if you're not running 450s, 460s would be the minimal on a track where you can do, you know, 60 foots. That's not no prep. I don't care what you call it, but
No.
So, you know, you're running 430s, you know, that's what it's coming to, you know, and then nothing against them guys. They got ran off in big tire. I get it, but it's just not where we're going to go. And
it's so tough. I mean, it costs so much money to try to run that, you know, and well, like take my car, for instance, you know, I think it would run that turned all the way up, but man, you're just killing it, you know, and I don't have the money to have 2 motors sitting here in case something breaks, and, you know,
and
it takes a lot of fun out of it.
You got to focus on the big money races. You're not going to go take out a car like that to a $1,500 race, you know.
No.
So you're searching, and you got, you know, some promoters not paying what they say they'll pay, and you got all the dramatics part of it. But you know, we tried it, and we may still hit some local stuff, but we're not going to focus on that.
Right. Well, I mean, it's just gotten so. I mean, what's the track record at Dyersburg right now? I mean, it's fast.
Yeah, it's a 468, I believe, 466.
Right. You know, I mean, what was it, 525 for a couple of years?
Well, it was like a 508, 509. I think Kendall had it for a while, and then Trent. I guess we've lost Mike. So Trent had it at maybe a high 490 or a low 5, and then Jamie Otts had it, and he believed that no one was going to break it with a 490.
Right.
And then Kelly Jones, we were down there and did a 460 something. So it's just getting faster and faster. So,
Right. You know,
but
and that's
more power to the guys that want to donate and be ducks, for lack of a better term.
right. You know, and that's kind of, you know, the reason I kind of skipped Gulfport. You know, that's what I was doing, donating, going to be a duck. And I'm going to try to hit some races where I kind of fit in. And like you guys, you know, this deal Yinzer working, you know, going to do this year, I'll probably hit several of those, especially if we got, you know, if they're local.
Yeah, and it's just something new, and it's seems to be they do have no time in there where you can get out there and run your stuff hard if you want to. Welcome back, Mike. Where you can run your stuff out, and your time's not posted or whatever the case is. They have a limited in between. I think they call it a limited street or LST. I don't know what all the verbiage is. And then Mean Street. And then your regular index 650, 70. So, but they go to Bowling Green. I think they did Beacon last year, Hardinsburg. Hopefully Sykeston picks them up. Mike, you may know more where they go.
They had six different tracks last year. They had Harrisburg, but I think Harrisburg is, from what I hear, Harrisburg's done. Like the entire track is done. I could be wrong, and I don't want to bring any bad juju to Harrisburg. That's just what I heard.
Right.
I actually liked that track. We were up there 2 or 3 times and I liked the facility. I liked the track, but from what I hear, it's done. So I guess I don't know.
And there's been talk, like I said, Sykeston picking it up. I don't know if Danny's going to do anything down at, I know he's talked about doing some changing next year. And then, you always got the True Street and the Outlaw Street and all that. Who thinks their car's a street car, not a street car, and no one ends up cruising anyway. So basically it's just your slower, small tire cars running in the street car and saying, oh, it's a street car because it's got a back seat and it goes a 530. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's kind of the reason our daily driver car just kind of sits. You get in there with those cars and we can't do nothing with it.
Right. So there's just a fine line of what fits, and it's hard to make something for everybody. But, the index deal kind of makes it, you draw out of a hat. It might be a 530 to 570 or a 540 to 5, whatever the case is, it kind of throws it around and changes it up. So you can get those guys that can't really run small tire or right at the edge of it, but can run enough and it still be heads up, pro tree, and you can get out there and still have fun. Call it bracket racing, call it what you want, but at least you're racing and not trying to tear up your car running a guy that can whop on you and still run a 460, and all you can do is a 530 with Chris's car pushing you.
Yeah, as long as you can have fun doing it.
Right.
That's
Sorry,
where
Chris, you look like you were falling asleep. I needed you to wake up.
I'm listening.
I know you are.
Little Possum said Sykeston will have plenty of racing for you boys. You guys just tell us what you want and we will do it.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I think Mike and Chris, we've talked about getting together with Ricky, taking him out to eat and kind of discussing some options and some things, and see, because it's not always about the racer. It's about what gets the spectators in there too. And we know that, but I think people just want to see some racing. Because most of your standard spectators, they don't know a 450 car from a 530 car. Now they know a bracket car, but they know it's heads up. You ain't got stickers plastered all over it. You call it what it is. That's what they're going to want to watch. But I don't think, because you're saying you're bringing in a car that runs 430s is bringing the people in. You know what I mean? So, but I think that's good, and hopefully this winter we'll talk with him and see what works for everybody.
He'll do
And-
something for us. He always has. So
Yeah.
plus he's still going to have the Benton track.
Yeah.
Right.
He's
Forgot
gonna
about
do-
Benton.
He's going to do his no prep at Benton, and all the Sykeston. Now it will be a prep track. Every event there will be prepped. And to speak on that a little bit, so far everybody that has been to the Sykeston track since he's owned it, the track is phenomenal. Now,
That's what I
granted,
heard. It was really
Yeah.
good.
Saturday, don't get me wrong. I mean, it was cold, and every streetcar in the country that was out there, which came to support the cause, either A, broke the transmission or broke the rear end. Because, I mean, the track was on point and they're, stock axles, lug nut. I mean, they're just breaking crap. So it slowed the track down, couldn't hardly keep heat in it. I mean, not saying it wasn't good. It was cold. You know how a cold track
Yeah.
gets. So,
That's right.
but other than that, every Wednesday, Wild Child Wednesday, the Thursdays, the Friday, everything. Everybody's like, the track is back. It's on point. There were guys saying that they have had their best 60-foot ever, right there, at Sykeston. So not just at Sykeston track, but period. So he's doing something right, and I know he'll keep on par with it. Possum doesn't deviate much, and he's a good dude. And he's going to do what the racers want, what they need. So,
Yeah, he's going to do a good job.
What's the interest over your way, Josh? I know you're kind of, correct me if I'm wrong, you're kind of closer to the Rogersville, Springfield area.
Well, no, I'm still a little ways from them.
Okay.
Honestly, I mean, we don't have anybody over here by me racing right now. I mean, I don't know. It just, we had to kind of jump in with everybody else because there ain't nobody around us really doing it. So,
yeah.
like this weekend, I traveled, a buddy of mine out of Arkansas, Brandon Stanley, he drove to Kentucky for the Decker Boys race, and we kind of paired up and run and helped him. So that's kind of what I'm doing, is just kind of jumping in, like maybe with you guys or whoever. So
Now, is he someone that run some of the no preps this year? I'm not familiar with that name.
yeah, I think he was at Dyersburg maybe a couple times, and he run at Jackson for the back of the track deal. Or was that a couple months ago?
Now, is it a white Mustang or?
No,
Who
it's
is it?
actually a black Isuzu. It's basically an S10, but it's a Isuzu.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yep. Pretty fast little truck. I mean, it gets down. It does a good job.
Is it a LS base or?
Yep. It's a turbo LS thing, and
I mean, is there anything else really?
well, I don't think so, but some people say there is.
It took us a little bit to convince Chris that, but I think that we've got him on the right path. What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, you see his picture behind his big head.
Actually, is that his motor down in there?
He's showcasing it.
Well, if he
Look,
move,
he's got turbos mounted.
can he move his head so I can see it? Oh, it looks like he's going to have twin turbos.
He said you better get a look real good at what it looks like right there. It's the last time you see it. Tail lights for you.
Oh boy.
And
So Mike-
I would be happy for that, for Chris to finally be able to beat me one time in the
Damn.
last 30 years.
Damn.
Boy, they're making it rough on you.
I don't even pay attention to him.
He doesn't. We are hard on him. I really don't. I mean, I'm a dick anyway, but I ride these guys hard. I'm a smart aleck, and hell, sometimes Chris won't even read our messages because he's so upset with my my attitude.
No, it's like two girls, like 9,000 messages. I ain't gonna sit and read every one of those.
I don't think it's that bad.
I'm working on my car. I ain't gonna sit and bullshit all day about the dumbest shit ever.
Do we really talk about dumb stuff, Mike?
A lot of times, yes.
Well, give us an example.
Well, he doesn't read the messages, so he's not going to know.
Oh, right.
He's out of the loop.
A Mustang.
Well, we got you finally in an LS. It's not going to, probably a year, maybe two, we'll have you in a Mustang.
You will not have me.
You heard him say that, right?
Yeah.
Will not happen.
You might be an older body style, like a 68, something like that. Not a new one, something like that, real slick. I think there's one for sale in St. Louis now. One of them guys that runs No Prep bought one, trying to resell it. I've seen it. It's blue, very nice.
I almost bought a Mustang. One
Was that
Mustang.
Jordan?
I've almost
Yeah,
bought
Jordan.
2 Mustangs.
Yeah.
What happened?
One of them, the guy wouldn't sell it to me, and then he turned around and sold it for less money than I even offered him.
What?
Yeah. And then
What's this?
the second one, I didn't even call the guy because I had the phone in my hand like 3 times looking at it with his number and all that push was call. I done that 3 separate times. And then somehow within that couple-day period, the Chevelle I ended up buying came about, and I never called that guy, but that's how close I've been to getting in a Mustang. Like, it actually has been close, but I'm not going to get a Mustang.
It wasn't meant to be, obviously.
I'm just not a, there's some bad Mustangs out there. So there's some and there's some good looking Mustangs, but there's a million of them. And I just like being different.
Me too, Chris. Me too.
You got a Mustang?
But I had an El Camino.
Good God, thank goodness you got rid of that.
I had an El Camino.
I understand you want to go slower, so you
I
got
miss it.
I know where
I
you're
miss
going.
it. I really do.
Yeah.
Is that guy racing that El Camino now?
Oh, he's fast.
Yeah.
Oh, he's faster than Mike on the first
Yeah.
pass.
Yeah.
Faster than Mike ever went in it.
He finally turned it up to 6 pounds of boost.
His
Mike would
first-
never go over 5.
Yeah. His first pass was at Jackson, Tennessee on the Mean Street deal, and he decided to run the whatever.
Small tire.
Yeah, small tire, big blocks, whatever it was. And of course, there was a prep track. And of course, the car, he didn't go faster than I had been, but it was right where it was at. Well, I was on no prep fast, and he's on prep track.
I got you.
Yeah.
If
But
you call
it
it that
was-
day prepped.
It was
Yeah.
about a couple of pounds of boost away from being out of converter. So I mean, the car would only do what it would do.
Right.
I mean, but I mean, he actually did real good in the car the first outing. I mean, he didn't win, but the throttle pedal broke. But I felt like he had the car to beat.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
That's
it was
good.
set up for no prep. I mean, and the track, like Van said, I mean, it wasn't. They called it prepped track, but it wasn't just all. It wasn't Jackson bracket prep. I'll tell you that much.
No, I don't know what they did or what they thought they did, but it wasn't as advertised. And it might be more prep to some than others, but us that kind of go around to more tracks than one, it wasn't like we thought. Then they had a transmission issue in one lane, and the way they went to clean it up it's very subpar. I think at one point it was so slick that the tractor lost a tire out there.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So pretty much it was so slick that they let the 3 that went down after they thought they cleaned it up come back and make another pass.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And they did the same thing again.
Yeah.
So, you have to, having a little no prep experience and something like that, I think is in the favor of the no prep guy, because, I heard a lot of whispers of, here we got these no prep racers racing on a prep track. You know what? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you,
Right.
So I believe when the car or the track becomes, or the sun goes down or some changes like that you got guys that aren't really adapted to tuning. They're relying basically on what their suspension's going to do and their tire and the prep that they're on. They don't have any sort of control or travel or, manipulation of the tune in terms of, timing retard and ramps and, you know what I mean? So, hey,
Right.
I'll take that experience and use it to my advantage, hopefully.
Well, I mean, honestly, that's something you can use anywhere.
Mm.
I mean,
Not if you've never done it and you know nothing other than just two-step RPM.
Yeah,
that's true.
I heard a lot of that down there. I heard a lot of that. Like, well, we're trying to launch at a lower RPM. We loosen the front up, but you still only have this much travel.
Yeah,
Right.
they loosen it
How
up. They got
loosen
3
it is.
inches.
Yeah. So just a different deal, I guess. I don't know. I've never prep track race.
And I used to years ago, and
Yeah.
and the car that I have now came from X275. Of course, you know, it didn't have long travels and all the things that it has now, but you know, some simple math and anti-squat and things like that, and it doesn't take long to get you back, you know,
Where you need to be.
Yeah. Now, if you're talking 3,000 and 4,000 horsepower kind of cars, there's a little more work involved, stator changes, things like that, gears. But
That was
Right.
another couple. Yeah.
right on something, you know, 2,000 or less,
Like Chris.
Right.
He's more like got your kind of motor, Josh, really high end kind of deal.
Well, I can't see it for his head. I've been trying to look, but trying to sneak a peek.
Ask us anything, we'll tell you.
Man, oh man.
So,
But
but no, man, good job, and
appreciate it.
especially coming just out of the dark, and you know, even if it's in the season, you know, data's data, and it's going to play in your favor, and you got to be there to win. So whether there's 5
Right.
cars or 27 cars, a win's
Right.
a win in my book.
Well, you know, we should have probably went out and did some testing and stuff. But this time of year, the weather, it's hard to do that. So we just kind of jumped into it. I mean, we wasn't expecting to do good at all. We're just trying to get some data. Like Saturday, it just kind of fell in our laps what we did. The car liked, you know, and
Right now, you did, and you don't have to say what you did. Is your car is it a 4-link or is it a
No, sir.
factory 4-link? Factory
Nope.
4-link.
it's a ladder bar.
Okay, so well, I have a ladder bar, so I'm familiar with that. Now, I believe you said you did some changes from Friday night to Saturday.
so-
Do you mind telling us what you did?
Don't mind at all. You know, we up the hose on the ladder bar and give it some more bite. Just trying to get it to separate a little harder and hit the tire, and you know, change the shocks up a little bit. We give them a little bit more extension, and then reset the ride height, and it liked all of it.
Absolutely. So without plotting it out, you really don't know if it went from 102 anti-squat to 136 anti-squat. You just know that moving the bars gave you the more bite, and probably
Well, Yeah, at that point, you know, we were in the trailer. It was 30 degrees.
absolutely.
You know, we'll get it back in the shop, you know, this week, and we'll plot it out. I kind of know where it was at, and we'll see what we went to.
Yeah. Well, definitely that's the key things that make it fun. You know, you get out there and if you got the bars, use them and try them and play with them. Not always the best idea, which I'm also known to do that, is make changes and then immediately go out to race. My wife can contest for that. But
you know,
sometimes that's just how it is. So,
well, we were there. I knew it wasn't working. You know, we had it turned down trying to leave on like 1 pound of dome, and it's still hitting the tire and spinning. Something wasn't right, you know. So,
and sometimes, you know, hitting the tire without any power can actually hurt you rather than help
Right.
you. So it's a trial and error.
well, we had tried hitting it with quite a bit of power, and it didn't
Didn't
like that. Yeah, so we knew right then that something had to be changed, or we wasn't going to do nothing, you know. But you know, it all kind of worked out for us. You know, I mean, luck has a big part of it, I think, and you know, we got a little bit lucky and got a couple lucky draws and got some data and got to work off of it.
And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I believe Chris actually won one race. got 3 competition buys and an actual buy run and made it to the finals. So, I mean,
A win's a win.
absolutely.
I'd rather be lucky than good any day.
Me too. Me too. So
Was
Mike,
that when me and Foster raced in the finals at Harrisburg when you was watching?
Oh, I think must have had problems or something with my car.
Oh, you
Maybe or
did.
something.
Yeah, you did. I gapped that ass.
What?
That was the problem.
boy, boy.
Hey, see, it's okay. We can win, we can lose, we learn from it. You know what I mean?
We all took home money.
That's right. We had a little pact at the beginning of the year. If any of us made it to the finals and won, that we would supply the other back with their entry fee money. And I was able to give them a lot more entry fee back than they were me. But that is just, I mean, the nature of my skill set.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I mean, honestly, that's the nice thing about, friends going and racing together. It's kind of nice, something like that. It makes it a little bit more fun and helps everybody out.
well, I've always been a big fan of these promoters and these tracks paying back more than it's just winner take all, because just the way the economy is and the gas prices and going home with nothing, it is just really disappointing. You should say you have a 28, 30 car field, you make it all the way to the end. Ever how you get there, you got there. And then you got one of the greedy folks, and there's several of them out there that don't even want to consider a split because they just think in their head that whatever it is.
Right.
And then you do lose and you got nothing, not even your entry fee back.
Well, and that was the nice thing Saturday. Me and the guy with the GTR, we discussed it before we raced. We decided on a 75-25 split. That even the loser got enough to kind of cover a strip. It worked out good. And I'm all for that. I mean, it kind of helps everybody out. You know what I mean?
I think that way, but a lot of people don't, and some people don't even ever make it to that opportunity to even be able to talk about a split. So, but for all those listening and ever get there, and it will happen. It's everybody's day is going to be their day, but just remember that karma is a real booger sometimes, and think about that split before you think that you got it in the bag, because
well, I mean, anything can happen.
a lot of guessing lights, and that old brother Red comes, and there it's all gone. So
Yep, going home empty-handed.
that's right. So, but
So you're going to be working on that daily driver for the race coming up?
Yep, I actually this week we're gonna get it out, put some fresh fuel in it. It ain't been started in 2 months. We've got a new transmission sitting there in the floor, but we ain't gonna get it in. We're gonna run it with the 6-speed Ford and just come have fun,
Yeah.
So
now is that what car is that?
the gray car, the one Fallon drove.
Oh, okay.
So, yep, we'll get it out, and which I think honestly we'll probably drive it from Winona down there. It's a daily car, I ain't got no problem with that. So,
Well, you don't have to.
I know.
You definitely. I
We're
mean,
going on a cruise.
I'd love to
Not that
give you
long.
some points for doing that, like automatic lane choice or a free into the second round, but
No,
I don't think we can.
like I said, this sounds like a really fun deal that you're putting on to me. Honestly, I don't think we're going to come down there and really be that competitive. But it's out, it's racing, we're having fun. $100, that's no money, for a night out and having fun, and we're going to come support it.
This race will definitely be the road. It will be the equalizer. It ain't junk, but I mean, at the same time, it's, I'm going to make sure it's virgin. It's
Right.
So that'll help equalize a lot of it. So
It'll be fun. I mean, which we've come down there and raced at Van Duzer or some, You know, we've been down there 2 or 3 times, you know, and we always had fun doing that when Tommy did it.
Yeah.
You know, so anything like that, we can kind of come and support. It's not that far from us. And,
Yeah.
you know, I always have a blast.
Yeah, Tom does quite a few of those. You know, he does a bunch of those a year. And I really hope to see some of his guys there. I don't know. The drive is what's going to kill some of them, I think.
Yeah, you know, a lot of those cars that showed up, I mean, honestly, they were drag cars. You know, I mean, even on to the point where probably not going to go on a good cruise, you know.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, nothing wrong with that, but I mean, that's the kind of racing that was going on. So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. And that's the only reason I'm having the cruise is because I'm not going to say I have open rules. I do have some, but I felt the cruise would weed out some of we'll say, I'll use Tim Harden, for example. I've got nothing against him. His car fits a lot of rules and he can drive it and it is fast. And I have nothing against Tim Harden. I love to race with him. I like seeing his car. You know, but there are cars that sit like his that can't cruise.
right.
That's why and if Tim shows up, him or Joseph, I'll be more than happy if they do. But some of the cars that sit like his that are clean and it just really won't cruise, and therefore they won't come to my race, you know.
Right. Well, that's something I always had a problem with most of the races around here. They always stay to cruise. You never do it.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like if you're going to post that you're going to go on a cruise, you know, even if it's 20 miles, go do it. You know, I mean, if it's a street car, 10 miles one way and 10 miles back, that's nothing.
Right. Yeah.
You
Absolutely.
know,
Yeah.
No, we're definitely going to put them on a cruise for sure. You know,
Yeah.
and I think the whole voting on that when you get to the track and this that, and the other. No, if it's a cruise related, they should go on the cruise just like H Town or you know
right.
wherever it is. You know, I know Dyersburg didn't really stand by the cruise deal for some of that, and you know, kind of left it in the racers' hands. And you know, just like everybody else. No, I ain't gonna go on a cruise if I don't have to. Wear and tear on the tires, fuel. You know, nobody's gonna be happy to do that. So, no, just stick to it. And
right. You know, well, everybody likes to push the rules. I mean, I do it myself.
Yeah.
If I think I can push it a little bit, I do. And you know, without the cruise, that's a lot easier to get by with.
Absolutely.
So,
well,
but. Yeah, like I said, I'm looking forward to the 9th and, you know,
Mike
is
I know looking at the weather this early might be a little but is there going to be like a rain out date that folks could have in the back of their head if something happens? Have you thought about it any?
Yes, I have. It will have to be after the first of the year. Okay. Because the weekend after, well, the rest of the weekends after December, I'll be occupied. So, and then we're really getting into weather permitting on far as cold or, you know, snow. I mean, anything like that. So
that's right.
I've got a heater and I've got some studded tires. Like,
yeah,
I'm good with that.
That's what I said. Better break out the all terrains. I mean,
yeah.
Then I had a guy message me and said that I don't run antifreeze in my car, you know, just water. So we'll have to I'm like, I mean, put antifreeze in it. I mean,
right. It's a street car.
Mix it.
Where we're going, I mean, and I'm not trying not to give too much away, but we have enough road. If we have to move spots 15 times, we'll be okay.
You got enough road.
Yeah, we'll have enough road to, yes. So put some antifreeze in it so it don't freeze up. We'll be fine.
Yeah, better do that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, they got to put some antifreeze in there. Come on.
Chris, why have you still not figured out your phone? What are you doing?
Well, he kind of moved his head around. I think he wanted to show us his engine.
Yeah.
No, I'm just playing.
Okay.
Well, just figuring it out.
Yeah. Okay.
So have you heard quite a few cars planning on coming to the deal, the cruise and the True Street deal?
So what I'm going to do right now, you got a bunch of people that say they want in. I actually have about, I think, 15 or 16. What I'll do is this coming weekend on the private chat.
Right.
I want to do a little lock-in. I mean, even if it's $15 or, I mean,
Well, or 25.
yeah, I want to do something so I can get a definite head count, just to, I mean, because people will say they're coming and never show up.
Right.
Give me something. Give me something to let me know you're coming, so we can get a better idea of what's of
Kind of plan what's going to happen and
yeah.
car count.
This coming weekend, I will make another post and we'll get dead set. And I mean, to say I want some money, I want something. I do know some guys, they deal nothing but cash. They don't have PayPal or any of that. I mean, does your buddy have a PayPal or a?
Well, generally somebody surely got a PayPal or a Cash App or, I mean, this day and down.
Yeah.
Chris, do you have PayPal or anything like that?
Yeah, I use Mike's.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah. So, but we do have, I've got everybody in order. I don't want, what would be the word? Not employees, helpers. We got flashlight guy. We got,
Check.
we've got to run the chip draw. We've got a start line camera. We've got a finish line camera. And then we've got also a guy that's going to help get everybody in order to line them up, because we're going to try to go as fast as we can.
Right.
The way it'll work, we'll have to kind of do like Jeff Thomas's deal at War in the Woods. We'll probably gather up the first 3 or 4 pairs, run them, and then
have them wait.
Yep. And, and then we'll get the other, the next 3 or 4 and then run them. That way we can just try to do it as fast as we can. And we don't have a lot of the road won't be so crowded. We have tons of parking. It's just the road we can't crowd the road too much because it's not going to be down. I mean, it's a public road. So
yeah. Well, anything that I can do to help you guys, just holler, a little bit here and there, but I'll be happy to help.
Just find some people to come, get that Truly down here, see what he's got.
I've been talking to him the last couple of days, asking advice, and so maybe we can get him down here.
I seen him had his motor in his car. I don't know much more than that. I just seen he had a new motor in his car.
Right.
I think he's got one back together, and so
a new old one.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'd be cool to have him and I don't know who else runs up there with him, but
man, there ain't many people anymore. Everybody's about quit up our way. I mean, not many people, and the ones that do run, I mean, they're pretty much drag cars that they ain't gonna drive. So,
that's right.
But I'll invite everybody that fits the rules and see if we can bring some people.
Yeah, absolutely. More the merrier. We race all day long if we have to.
Yeah, it'd definitely be a fun time. Even just to watch, get put out first round and watch. That's what I like to do.
Yeah.
Chris is absolutely used to that, so should be just really normal for him.
Dadgum.
He's still playing with his phone.
He's busy.
I think he's got you. Oh, the winner.
Oh, he's changed his name.
Changed it.
It took him 45 minutes to change his name. So, well, heck, we're hitting an hour and 3 minutes here. Probably going to wrap it up here.
Well, guys, thanks for having me.
No, we appreciate it. Good job. Congratulations. And glad things are going smooth and good. And if we don't hear from you, we'll see you up here December 9th, right, Mike?
Yep, December 9th.
Yep, we'll be there. Like I said, we'll drag that thing out and put some fresh gas in it and bring it up.
Awesome. Okay.
Sounds good.
Well, we'll get at you later, Josh.
See you guys.
All right, man. See ya.
Okay. Well, that seemed to go well.
Yeah.
Chris?
TJ said he fits the rules, but his car don't.
Oh, he must be.
Oh, wait, I read that wrong. He said
I fit,
but the car won't be ready.
Well, he has another little street car he's doing, like a 4-eyed car.
Yeah.
And he may be talking about that one. I'm not sure. So, but we'll take whoever wants to come. You know,
Yep.
there's going to be, let's get with Mike and if you think you got a question about fitting in, did Laddie and them guys ever get back with you?
Yeah, I actually added Laddie into the
Chat?
deal.
Okay.
Yeah. I just asked and he was like, yes, we're interested. So I added him in.
Oh,
I don't
cool.
know what car, I didn't ask any questions. The rules are pinned in there.
Uh-huh.
They can read them, go back to the top and read them, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, it'd be cool. Some of the older time guys coming out.
Yep.
They're maybe doing something. Is that old Jeff Mall? Is he still around?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't spoke to him or heard from him, or I don't know.
I think he's about lost all his hair like me. I think I seen a post the other day. He was up there at Baldwin's shop doing some sort of benefit motor, and he was standing there and didn't even look like him. Looked like he was about 136 pounds and no hair.
Well,
I thought, damn.
yeah.
I need on his diet plan. I got the hair.
Probably
already.
a lot of stress.
It could be,
Yeah.
So, all right, guys. Well, good deal.
Okay.
We'll get going and get off here and let everybody get to bed and ready for work tomorrow.
Yeah,
Okay.
7:35 is past your bedtime.
Oh shit, it is. All right, we'll see y'all.
See ya.
All right, bye.